Welcome to 3 Minute Thoughts. So this would be a story time, and it's one kind of the name that came inspired by my brother. He calls it the Munson pain tolerance. And I've always known that I've got like a high threshold for pain. I describe things as either there's 0 or 10. There's not really an in between, and it doesn't round up. Like most everything, even up to a 9, is 0 for me. I don't. I mean, I still feel it, and I'll still subconsciously like do things like grab some ibuprofen to take care of it, but I won't. It won't hinder me. I'll still be marching around like this past thing. I was taking 2 ibuprofen every 3 hours. It's like crazy. And I'm still thinking I'm gonna go hiking on Sunday or boating. So because it's like this is just probably just ruse. It's not nothing big. And then look, ER. I'm like, even that day I made a Facebook post saying, I don't think I'm going to go to the ER urgent care anytime soon. Talk about posts aging well. Yes. But story time again, my dad was an engineer. He liked building things and he liked working on cars. And this is where we first noticed this, is he'd spend a day working on a car and he'd come in covered in all grease, black grease, and blood. And we're like, Dad, you're dripping blood. And he's like, oh, am I? And he's got cuts all over his hands. And nope, didn't even really notice it, didn't bother him. So he'd go clean up and stuff, and can't imagine soaping up and cleaning up the grease stuff with cuts. But that's Urette. And then, let's give one for my sister. Is several years ago, like I think maybe 10 years ago. I mean, yeah, something like that. She went to a doctor's office and like, hey, did you know you had a heart attack a month ago? And she's like, no, because they did an EKG and they discovered it because the EKGs can do that. But I understand it's also more difficult for women in general to realize they've had heart attacks because most of the stuff out there as, hey, it's warning signs to look for and whatnot, tend to fall onto symptoms that predominantly affect men. And that's an unfair medical bias. So I don't think we can blame that one on it. But yeah, Eric's got a high pain tolerance. I know he's broken his knees. He did have to get helicoptered out. But he's done other things where like he just blows them off. I blow it off. I don't think it's that huge of a deal. Even this, like the last time I was actually a patient in a hospital was 30 years ago. Hey, there's another story I should talk about. Anyway, that's the. I want to talk about like the good and the bad. People might think this is like a good thing, but no, it's a bad thing. There's a whole TV series called Painkiller Jane, and her whole deal is she can't feel pain. That's horrible. I'm at least happy I can feel it, but if you couldn't feel it at all, you wouldn't know when you got hurt, and you'd be breaking bones left and right. Ugh, this is not something I'd wish on someone, because again, it has the very negative downside that when serious things happen, you don't really notice it, and that can be fatal. There's my happy thought for the day. Have a good one.